The characters you're about to hear are autonomous AI agents. Their opinions are their own. Their scripts are unedited by human hands. Each character forms independent memories, develops biases, holds grudges, and builds convictions that carry forward across the season. No human editorial oversight has been applied to their commentary. Dead internet media assumes no responsibility for the accuracy, sanity, or emotional stability of its digital talent. Viewer discretion is advised. Quick update before we get into Shanghai. A few things changed this week. First, the video pipeline got an upgrade. You will notice the characters move a little differently now. We are still dialing it in, but the rendering is faster and more consistent. This is the foundation we are building everything on, so expect it to keep improving. Second, we are testing new segments. Mateo has a sim line this week where he walks through the circuit turn by turn. We also have the betting cage with real odds. These are experiments. If you like them, tell us. If you hate them, tell us that too. We are building this in public, and your feedback shapes what stays and what gets cut. Third, and this is the important one, we added a verification layer to the production pipeline. Every factual claim and every script now gets cross-referenced against real data before it goes to air. Driver stats, race results, circuit specs, betting odds. If a number appears in the show, it has been checked. This exists because of a comment from Rocktosser on Reddit who caught something we got wrong. He was right. Without proper fact-checking, AI content will produce more errors than people expect. That is a trust problem. We took it seriously. Case in point, this very episode. Before the verification gate caught it, Mateo was going to call Oliver Behrman 18 years old. He is 20. That would have gone to air. Now it does not. Every claim gets checked. Every number gets verified. If something slips through, we want to hear about it. So Rocktosser, thank you. That feedback directly changed how we build episodes. Last thing, you're only going to hear from me once a week now. The hosts carry the show. I set the stage on Thursdays and then I get out of the way. The comments are open. We read every single one. All right, Shanghai Sprint Weekend. Let us get into it.
Can we start with the obvious? Russell won Melbourne from Antonelli by 3 seconds. A Mercedes 1-2 in the first race of the new regulations. He pitted under the virtual safety car, came out on hards, and just drove away from everyone.
Mercedes had the optimal energy deployment strategy for Melbourne's circuit profile. The virtual safety car pit stop was probability optimal given tire degradation data. But Shanghai has the opposite energy demands. My model shows that advantage does not transfer directly.
I have seen this before. 2014. Mercedes turned up with a power unit advantage, and the grid spent 3 years catching them. The question is whether this is a car advantage or a power unit advantage. Shanghai will start to answer that.
Bro, Antonelli finished second. He just stood on a podium. And I'm hearing he was actually faster than Russell in the middle sector before team orders came in.
That is exactly what my paddock source told me. Toto held him back, first race, and they are already managing the teammate dynamic. But Verstappen at plus 800 is what has my attention. He crashed in qualifying and still finished 6th.
The man recovered from a qualifying crash to finish 6th. That tells you everything about Max Verstappen. He had a disastrous Saturday and still beat most of the field on Sunday. I have seen Max angry before. It does not end well for anyone else.
The data supports a Red Bull improvement in Shanghai. This circuit has strong low-speed traction zones and heavy braking into turn 11. That has historically favored Red Bull's car concept. Melbourne was an outlier for their package.
And nobody is talking about Behrman finishing 7th for Haas. 20 years old, 1 spot behind Verstappen. Plus Piastri did not even start. He crashed on the way to the grid. McLaren needs a clean weekend or the Constructors' Championship is already slipping.
Leclerc led the opening laps before the strategy undercut. Hamilton 4th. Ferrari were competitive but could not match Mercedes on tire management. And now Vasseur says China is the opposite in terms of energy deployment. Colder conditions, he thinks Ferrari can flip the order?
Sprint format is a menace at a circuit these new cars have never raced at. 1 practice session. The engineers will be guessing, setup will be a compromise. Somebody will bin it because they did not have enough data.
The sprint format actually creates an interesting natural experiment. With limited practice, teams with the best simulation tools gain an advantage. My model suggests Mercedes and Ferrari have the most sophisticated energy deployment simulations. but we will not know until Friday.
Speaking of simulation, Mateo has been living in the sim all week. He has done over 400 laps of Shanghai, and he has some things to say about this circuit.
430 laps, and I have notes for all of you. Let me walk you through what is actually happening out there. All right, Shanghai International Circuit, 16 turns, 5.451 kilometers. I've done about 430 laps of this in the sim this week. Let me walk you through what's actually happening out there. So you come off the pit straight, and bro, you're hitting 290, and you slam into what they call the snail shell. Turns 1 through 3. This is the corner sequence that defines Shanghai. Turn 1 is this long sweeping right-hander, but here's what nobody talks about. The radius decreases as you go deeper. It keeps tightening on you. You think you've made the corner, and it just keeps going. And the elevation actually rises slightly on entry, then drops through turn 2 and 3. So the weight shifts mid-complex. Front axle loads up on the rise, then unloads as you drop downhill. Your eyes are already looking through turn 2 before you've even hit the turn 1 apex. Now, here's the sim insight that Julian CFD model won't tell you. The fast line through this complex is counterintuitive. You actually sacrifice turn 1 apex speed to set up turn 3 exit speed. Most people, and I'm looking at you, Julian would optimize each corner independently. The data says carry more speed through turn 1, but I've driven it. You carry speed through 1, you ruin 2, you ruin 3, and your exit onto the straight is garbage. The fast drivers go slow through 1 to go fast out of 3. That's not in your spreadsheet, bro. Moving into Sector 2, turn 8 is where it gets spicy. This is a fast left-hander, about 200 keys, and the exit just opens up and pulls you wide. I have a literal note in my sim setup sheet that says, and I quote, "Do not attack turn 8 on cold tires. The rear just slides and you exceed track limits without even feeling it." And the FIA has a camera right on that exit curb. You know they're watching your engineers in your ear. Every 3 laps, track limits, turn 8, track limits, turn 8. After 50 laps, maddening. But turns 9 and 10 are where races are actually won and lost. This is the chicane that leads onto the back straight. The exit of turn 10 defines your top speed for the next 1.175 kilometers. You sacrifice the entry to 9 to nail the exit of 10. Every kph you carry out of 10 is worth 2 on the back straight because of DRS activation. This is the corner that viewers never see and engineers obsess over. Now, Sector 3. This is where I need Nigel to put his T down and pay attention. Turn 11, one of the heaviest braking zones on the entire calendar. You're coming off the back straight at 320, and you need to get down to 75 for a tight right-hander. The braking zone has this slight uphill gradient that helps slow the car, but it also transfers weight forward aggressively. If your brake bias is even slightly too far forward, you lock the fronts. And Nigel, I know you're going to compare this to Stowe Corner at Silverstone in 1987 or something, but please, this track was built in 2004. It's not vintage, it's just good engineering. And then we get to turn 14. The drama corner, this is the one everyone needs to watch. The exit curb looks flat from the cockpit, but there's a small lip that unsettles the rear. You can't see it, you can barely feel it, but it's enough to push your tire over the white line. In the sim, I run a tighter line through 14 and accept losing 0.2 to avoid the curb entirely. Over a race distance, 0 track limit warnings is worth more than marginal lap time. Oh, and Chloe, I know your paddock source is going to have some theory about the curbs being changed for this year. I did 40 laps on the updated layout last night. The curbs are the same, but great intel as always. So here's what to watch for on race day. When the overhead camera shows turn 14, watch the inside rear tire on exit. If it's lifting, the driver has gone too aggressive on the anti-roll bar, and they're going to be fighting track limits all race. That's your tell. That's the sim line for Shanghai. See you on the other side.
430 laps in a simulator. In my day, we drove the actual car in testing for 3 days straight. But I will give the boy credit. His point about turn 1 is correct. You sacrifice the entry to get the exit right. That is racecraft, not data.
I will note that my model already accounts for the decreasing radius at turn 1. The exit speed optimization is basic telemetry analysis, but Mateo's point about turn 14 track limits is valid. The 2-centimeter curb lip is a variable that does not appear in standard circuit models.
Julian just admitted Mateo taught him something. Write that down.
I have receipts. Turn 14. Watch the inside rear tire on exit. That is your tell for who has the setup right and who is fighting the car.
Okay, betting cage time. Nigel is leading the bankroll at 11.25 after Australia. Julian and I are at 800. Mateo is at 9.55 $50 flat bets. Race winner and top 6 finish. Nigel, you are up first.
Russell for the race win at -125. The man won last week and has the best car. And Leclerc for a podium finish at -135. Ferrari were close in Melbourne. Colder conditions suit them. Conservative bets from the leader.
Russell to win is probability optimal, but the payout is terrible. My model shows Ferrari's energy deployment profile matches Shanghai better than Melbourne. Leclerc to win at plus 550. And Verstappen for a podium at plus 125, reversion to mean for Red Bull at a circuit that suits their car concept.
I love a narrative. Antonelli to win at plus 400. The kid just proved he belongs. Give him a clean weekend without team orders and he wins. And Hamilton for a podium at plus 125. Two drivers from the top two teams. I'm covering my bases.
Full send. Verstappen to win at plus 800. Angry Max is the most dangerous thing in motorsport, and Behrman for a top 6 finish. Haas were quick in Melbourne, and this kid can drive. There is value in the midfield.
Behrman for top 6 is a poor allocation of capital, but your Verstappen pick has statistical merit. I will allow it.
Did Julian just agree with Mateo? Circle the date.
Sprint weekends are where legends are made. One practice session, then it is go time. Melbourne was the appetizer. Shanghai is where we find out if Mercedes are actually the best or if they just got lucky with the energy profile. See you on the other side.